So let's say you're thinking about moving to Oregon and the Portland metro area is high up on your radar. You've seen the bridges, the greenery, maybe even a few of my neighborhood videos, and now you're wondering exactly how much it costs to purchase a home here. Is it $500,000? Closer to $1 million perhaps? And what do you really get for your money in places outside the city, including Beaverton, Hillsborough, or Happy Valley? Well, the truth is the Portland metro area isn't a one-size-fits-all market. Prices can swing hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on which side of the river you're on, how new the home is, and how close you want to be to downtown. So in this video, I'm going to break it all down from the entry-level homes to the mid-range sweet spots, to those higher end neighborhoods that many of my clients ultimately fall in love with. And by the end of this video, you'll have a really good sense on what your budget can buy across the entire Portland metro area. So hello, I'm David Backholer and I'm a real estate broker based here in Portland, Oregon. Now, you may be able to tell I'm originally from the UK and I've gone through multiple international relocations as well as relocating across multiple states across the US. And the goal of my channel is to share my experiences with you. That way your relocation to the Portland metro area is that little bit easier. Now, if you are thinking about making the move and buying a home here, feel free to reach out to me. All of my contact details are down below and I'll be happy to help you through that process. Okay, so let's start with a quick look at where the market stands today. And right now, the median home price in Portland, that sits around $550,000. That's for the city of Portland itself. Once you start looking outside of Portland, places like Beaverton, Hillsborough, Gresham, Tigard, prices can really shift up or down a bit. In Beaverton and Hillsborough, for example, you'll often find similar or slightly lower pricing, whilst areas like Happy Valley, West Lynn, or Lake Oswego, which is incredibly expensive, they tend to sit higher overall. Those homes will often start around $700,000 plus. Now, that's not to say places like Happy Valley are more expensive. It simply means that in Happy Valley, the homes actually tend to be a little bit larger with more bedrooms and in a location with great schools, but the price per square foot is actually a lot more reasonable than Portland. Okay, so going back to the topic of the market, the good news is that the market has stabilized. We're certainly not seeing the big price swings or bidding wars that we saw during those pandemic years. Okay, so let's go into the details and talk about what I call the entry to moderate price range, and that's roughly $400,000 to $550,000 across the Portland metro area. Now, at this level, you'll find smaller single-family homes, often older builds or properties a little bit further from the city center. And if your budget is less than this, you're not out of luck. Actually, this year I've had a couple of clients buy homes in the upper $300,000s to low $400,000 range, but these are going to be townhomes rather than single family homes. Now, back to our entry to moderate range of the $400,000 to $550,000. In Portland itself, this might mean a 2 or maybe a 3-bedroom home, maybe in East Portland or a slightly less central neighborhood. If you head out further east to places like Gresham or parts of Hillsborough to the west, your dollar goes much further. You might find a more modern 3-bedroom or a home with a decent yard, for example. And these homes may not have every modern upgrade, but they're perfectly livable and a great entry point if you're new to the area. Now, for many people relocating from higher cost states like California or Washington, this range can actually feel like an excellent value, especially if you're coming from markets where $600,000 or $700,000 barely gets you a condo. Now, that said, most of my clients end up in the next tier we'll talk about in a moment. That's the mid to upper range, where there's more space, newer construction, and neighborhoods that really showcase the best of suburban Portland living. Now, this next range is roughly $600,000 to around $1 million, and that's where things really start to open up. At this level, you can expect newer homes, larger floor plans, and higher end finishes. You'll see open concept living spaces, quartz countertops, upgraded appliances, and primary suites that actually feel like a nice retreat. You'll also find some of the arena's most desirable suburbs, so Beaverton and Hillsborough, they both offer fantastic schools, a great proximity to the tech corridor there as well, and Happy Valley, which is known for newer construction and some beautiful views, and some of the most desirable neighborhoods, and also in Northeast Portland, including Laurelhurst, Irvington, and Alameda. These will all be more accessible at this price point, although some of these Northeast Portland neighborhoods will go for over $1 million. Now, if you're spending somewhere between $700,000 and $900,000, you're likely looking at a newer 4-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom home, often with somewhere around 2,500 square feet, and sometimes even slightly larger lots as well. Now, once you move a little further north of $1 million, you're getting into premium territory. Think about larger homes, custom finishes, maybe a little bit of acreage or a little bit more space, or those boutique neighborhoods which are close to downtown. We touched on some of those in Northeast Portland, which tend to be on the higher price point. Also the West Hills near downtown Portland as well. Now for out-of-state buyers, this range tends to feel like the sweet spot. It really balances comfort, location, and quality without pushing into the ultra luxury territory. If you're coming from areas like the Bay Area or Seattle, it's not uncommon to feel like your money stretches much further here. So if your budget falls anywhere from $600,000 to around $1 million, you will be in an excellent position to find a high quality home in a fantastic neighborhood. Okay, so price is just part of the story. Let's talk about a few other things that matter just as much when you're buying in this area. And let's start by talking about property taxes and maintenance. Now, Oregon doesn't have sales tax, but property taxes here can vary quite a bit depending on the county and the age of the home. So when you're comparing properties, make sure you're looking at the total cost of ownership and not just the purchase price. Now, Multnomah County, which covers Portland, tends to have slightly higher property taxes than, say, Clackamas County, which is south of Portland, and then Washington County, which is west of Portland. And Washington County would include places like Beaverton and Hillsborough. Now, secondly, something else to consider, location and proximity to central Portland has a huge impact on the price. Being a few miles further out can definitely make that difference. For instance, a $600,000 home in Canby or maybe Hillsborough might cost $700,000 plus if you move closer to the city, but it could mean a shorter commute, better amenities, and a more walkable town. So it's worth weighing off these trade-offs. And then thirdly, consider the age and systems of the home. There's a plethora of attractive older homes in Portland, especially on the east side, but older homes may also bring surprise costs. Things like roofs, plumbing, HVAC systems. These things tend to add up. And lastly, think about resale potential. Even if you plan to stay for years, you do want to buy in a location that holds its value. Now, the Portland metro area really has shown solid long-term stability. We're seeing house prices grow by about 2% right now, but a few years ago when interest rates were lower, those house prices were growing by around 5 to 10% year over year. Now, if you're watching this from another state and trying to get a handle on where to start, here's how I personally would approach it. Firstly, you need to establish your true budget. Think about not what you can afford, but what feels comfortable month to month. And once you factor in taxes, insurance, and utilities as well. And by the way, let me know if I can put you in contact with a local lender who can help you come up with that budget. Next, I do recommend you get clear on your lifestyle potentials. Do you want walkability, space and proximity? Privacy? Do you want to be close to family or a specific employer? And once I know these priorities, I can help you focus on the right area. And now that's new construction, Happy Valley, or the tech-friendly corridor in Beaverton, or something a bit more rural in Canby. You just need to think about what city and location is perfect for you. And then once you have that, lean on me for help. I can preview homes for you, I can do virtual walkthroughs and give you a sense of the neighborhood vibe. That way you can make confident decisions even from a distance. And then finally, you do need to move quickly when you find the right house. Well-priced homes in good condition still move fast, especially in that upper to mid price range. Okay, so now let's cover a few quick questions I tend to get all the time. Is $500,000 enough to buy a good home in the Portland metro area? And I would say yes, absolutely it can be, especially areas like Gresham, parts of Hillsborough, or some neighborhoods on Portland's east side. You just need to be realistic about the size, the age, and the location. Another question I get is on that higher price point, do I have to spend $1 million to get something nice? And I would say absolutely not. Now, many of my clients land in this $700,000 to $900,000 range. That seems to be where a lot of people end up, especially relocating from out of state. And in that price range, you're going to find excellent homes, new construction, but also older homes which are in good condition, being nicely renovated, great neighborhoods, and in this price point, you really won't need to compromise. Another question I get about is the market. Should I wait for things to happen? And honestly, if you're relocating and you find a home that fits your needs and your budget, that's always going to be the best time to make that move. If you're trying to time the market, you're probably going to be timing it wrong. It's impossible really for us to know what will be on the market tomorrow. So I'd say focus on the home that fits your life and not just listen to headlines about what's going to happen in the market next year. Okay, so there you have it, a full look at what it costs to buy a home in the Portland metro area, from the entry-level price points to the upper mid-range and beyond. And if you are thinking about making a move here, I'd certainly love to help you find the right fit. Reach out to me anytime. I can walk you through the neighborhood, set up tours, and make the relocation process as smooth as possible. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again in that next video.